I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. What's next for the vacated Flagler County Sheriff's Operations Center? John Arking has the latest.
In spite of an expert's determination that the Sheriff's Operations Center is safe, county commissioners are talking about the possibility of tearing down the building and starting over. The expert was hired by the county following multiple reports by employees of getting sick while working in the building, including rashes, hives, and breathing difficulties. More than 30 employees have filed workers' compensation claims related to the building. The 1,700-page report was delivered last Thursday and led to the suggestion by County Administrator Craig Coffey that it could be ready for employees to return by the end of the month. But at a county commission workshop about the building Monday, Chairman Greg Hansen said people are getting sick, and that's unacceptable.
Whether we have to tear the building down, whether we have to build a new one, that's yet to be determined. But if that's what it takes, that's what will get done. We're going to find what's wrong and fix it. And if fixing it means tear the building down, that's what we're going to do.
From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
Meantime, Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley says he's not ready for his employees to move back into the operations center. Despite county tests showing nothing wrong with the building, Staley says he plans to get a second opinion and have his own expert come in and conduct tests on the evacuated building. Attorneys for the sheriff's office are asking the building to stay vacated so that any potential evidence can be preserved. Deep cleaning and HVAC modifications were planned for next week in preparation for sheriff's office employees to move back into the space. But Staley is asking for crews to hold off to preserve the current condition of the building.
This portion of WNZF Local News, a service of the Daytona Beach International Airport. Fly to the Big Apple in a New York minute on JetBlue from the Daytona Beach International Airport.
A Bunnell man faces felony child abuse charges following separate incidents, each involving a 17-year-old boy. Tony Magoo reports.
Billy Burnett is 33, a resident of Poinsettia Street in Bunnell, uncle to a 17-year-old boy who lives with him. The 17-year-old was sitting in the living room when his cousin, Burnett's 8-year-old son, approached the older boy, who playfully took glasses off the younger boy's head and tapped him on the head. It may not have seemed so playful to the boy, who began to cry and run to his father in a bedroom. Well, Burnett came out, started yelling at the 17-year-old. Things escalated to the point where Burnett had choked the boy until he was gasping for air, according to the arrest record. Burnett himself told deputies the confrontation was more limited in that he was just trying to protect his 8-year-old son. The initial charges on Burnett were child abuse and aggravated assault by domestic strangulation, both felonies. He would have been able to post $2,500 bond, but Sunday's incident resulted in a third charge, a probation violation, also a felony. He's being held at the county jail on no bond. For Flagler Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
It's being called a major improvement for Daytona State College, though it failed to reach the top-ranked gold tier by less than 1 point in the state's performance-based funding rankings. This after it ranked dead last in the state 4 years ago. The rankings show DSC scored nearly perfect in 3 categories, garnering a score of nearly 37, 2 points higher than last year. But DSC needed a better score in completion rates to propel it to the Gold Star standard. The college has taken steps to improve completion rates, including the creation of an early alert system that notifies staff when students fall behind. They've also increased student mentoring. Since it remains in the silver category, DSC is eligible for nearly $2.5 million in state funding. College President Tom Lobasso says the improvements are due to strategies that were put in place several years ago that are now yielding results. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.